Hi.
It's October. Well, it was.
It was October.
It was. And it was.
And
Halloween
films came out.
happened.
Halloween happened.
It's gone now.
Spooky stuff went down, and
Yeah.
scares were made. Candy was consumed.
Candy was...
Demolished.
Yeah.
Razors were put in candies.
Oh!
Whoa.
And yeah, so...
Yes.
Let's just get right into
We'll jump in.
How about that, gang?
Are we really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we have a formal warning for spoilers.
Oh, yes. Thank you for
First
remembering.
time we've done that.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the podcast.
Yes,
We
so-
are going to be... This podcast, we are going to be discussing The Lighthouse.
This podcast.
Gemini Man. Hustlers. El Camino. Parasite. Zombieland Double Tap. Maleficent. Mistress of Evil. And Joker.
Got some movies.
Got some
Got
movies.
some films.
And we're gonna wait till the end for Joker.
Yeah.
So we're making you wait for it.
Making you wait for it. Because we know you all want it, based on our poll on Instagram, but on
Yes.
on Twitter is a bit different. But you know what?
Yeah, who really gives a shit about Twitter?
No,
Who gives a shit?
Gives it. All right, so let's
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Film Nerds.
Yeah, also do that at the Film Nerds, Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're almost at 500 Instagram followers.
We're close.
Let's get it up to there.
Let's get it up to 10,000.
Woo!
10,000.
Almost there.
1 million subscribers. Whoa!
Almost.
Alrighty, so let's just jump right
Jump
into our first movie that we'll be discussing, which is The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse.
Ooh.
Yes.
Which was a
Directed
movie.
by Robert
Eggers. It's
Eggers.
his second film following The Vivitch.
The Vivitch.
Yes. And
Yes.
it's a lot better than The Vivitch.
I haven't seen The Vivitch, so...
Wait, you haven't?
No,
Oh.
there was one time I was at a birthday party for someone, and they were watching the
Yes.
Vivitch, and because it's on Netflix. It's on
Okay.
Netflix, so if,
Yeah.
if you want to go see it, you can see it there. But I don't like seeing movies that I hear are really good in a group setting, because usually that ruins it for me. So
Yeah, especially if it's a horror movie.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
like,
Because everyone's just like, oh!
well, I
they're
feel like with
laughing
movie...
at it,
Yeah.
or they're reacting really loudly, and I'm like, okay.
Well, and I also feel like with movies like The Witch, The Vivitch,
Vivitch.
those
Yeah,
are the
The
types of movies that critics love, and then the trailers make it look super creepy, and then people are like, ooh, I want to go and see it, it looks scary, and then they
It's
watch
really
it,
not.
and they're like, I didn't get it, it wasn't scary enough. I
Yeah.
prefer the Saw movies. The Babadook wasn't even that scary. Like,
But yeah, so...
yep.
Yeah.
So,
I'm very passionate about this. I dressed up as the Babadook yesterday
did,
for Halloween,
yes.
so...
Sure did. But yeah,
shook.
It was a. But yeah, I watched Airplane instead with one of my friends on my phone. So,
Oh my gosh.
Boy.
which love that movie.
What a cinematic
Funny film.
masterpiece.
But anyways, so
Anyways,
Yes.
the house light.
the Lighthouse stars Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and one
mermaid.
mermaid.
And one...
And a quick shots of Winslow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Winslow.
and a dead guy for like a couple seconds.
That is also true.
Yeah.
And a seagull.
The head?
What?
What dead guy?
That he mysteriously sees in the thing that he pulls up from the ocean.
Oh, yeah, the head.
Yeah.
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 But yeah. Also, spoilers for this movie.
Yeah.
Spoilers for all movies.
All movies,
Just to reiterate.
Yeah.
This one's kind of hard to spoil though,
Yeah, cause
because you don't really know what the hell happens.
You don't, yeah.
right,
Stuff just
what's
happens.
real, what's not.
Yeah. But anyway, so this movie, this movie's fucking amazing.
Oh my gosh,
It's really
yeah.
good.
I loved this movie.
It's really
Oh,
good.
so this movie is about these two guys who are stationed at a lighthouse for a couple weeks, and they're lonely, and shit gets weird, and hijinks ensue.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Hijinks definitely ensue.
Yeah, there's not much of like a real plot.
Or like
It's
a
just-
direct plot.
Yes.
It's more of like just very
Descent
non-linear.
into madness.
Yeah. And it's amazing.
It's so cool.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The performances are, oh boy.
fantastic.
Oh, God. Robert
And
Pattinson
career
is
defining.
so
I would
good.
say.
Jeez,
For both
that
of them?
Both of them, honestly, yeah.
Ugh.
yeah.
Like, yeah, Robert Pattinson is fantastic. Willem Dafoe plays a very
Great.
a great cartoony pirate, lighthouse guy.
Yeah. But it's like the epitome of that cartoony lighthouse
It
guy.
really
It's like
is,
the
yeah.
perfect performance of that.
And like I say cartoony, and that's not
It's not an insult.
An insult at all. Right. It very much. It's just good. Like it's like cartoony, but it's very like. There are people like that existed, and you could feel that through. I don't know. It was.
It just works.
It just works. Yeah, it works. The movie was shot in a 1:1 aspect ratio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's literally a square.
Yeah, it's like it's square, or at least very close to being square,
and fully black and white,
and on 35 millimeter.
Yeah,
which is it was pretty.
So it's artistic.
It's very artistic. Very artistic. Yeah. It's artistic merely because of those things. And
that's it.
But yeah, I mean and I think but even so, I think it really helps what the movie is going for. Like like especially the aspect ratio, I thought really aided the like sort of tense and like ominous tone that it really gets across.
Yeah, that kind of trapped feeling.
Yeah, it made just by limiting your field of view.
Yeah,
I think it was really effective.
And the cinematography,
it's fantastic.
It's just gorgeous.
It's fantastic.
It's really really great.
I don't think that I feel like any one of the shots in the movie I could hang up on my wall and just it's a piece of art. Like it's shot so well. Mm-hmm. And the story is fucking bananas.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. How do we talk about the story? Because
it's a lot of just interpretation.
Right.
Metaphor. I mean, it's really hard to tell even what literally happens.
True. Let alone what it means. Because Willem Dafoe starts kind of playing with Robert Pattinson's sense of reality.
Yeah, he gaslights him.
Right, but then again, Robert Pattinson is also legitimately going insane. So can we trust him as well?
No, it's hard to tell who you can even trust in the movie. It's so it's just so off the wall.
Yeah, there are literally only two characters, and
it doesn't even get boring for me. I mean, it's slow, but I don't think it's boring.
I think the beginning's really slow, but it
is slow
considerably for me, but
it's slow.
I was really bored in the beginning.
But I don't think that's. I don't know. I was never bored. I think it being slow is very purposeful, and it aids the storytelling a lot. To where it just slow and it just like has this gradual build that never like stops until the movie's over.
True. I loved this. I loved where it went in the second half, but it took watching it twice for me to appreciate the first half more. Like, it's still kind of... I agree with you that it is intentional in how slow it is, and I definitely get it. I do think, though, that maybe 10 minutes could have been cut of the first half of it, just because a lot of it is, like, just looking at the pretty shots.
Not really. I mean, a lot of it's just him working and like, that droll, mundane... like routine that he has.
No, yeah, and the main thing that kept me interested in that was how great the visuals were.
I guess so. I mean, but I don't think it's necessarily a fault of the movie you had to see it twice to appreciate the first time. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Oh no, it's just a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it definitely. I agree. Seeing it a second time, the first half does feel a lot faster because you know where it's going,
right?
Which is where a lot of the slow pace just feels so incredibly slow because you just have no idea where it's going. Mm-hmm. And then when it gets there, it's insane. Some bird.
Little birdie.
Bird.
Speaking of which, there's a bird in this movie.
There is a bird.
Yes, it's a gull.
A gull.
God.
Seabird.
You know what? I'm just gonna.
He's leaving the room. He's opening the door.
My own room.
He's leaving. And he is gone.
Well, there's a gull, and
there's a seabird.
You shouldn't kill them because they carry the souls of dead sailors. But this little douche.
Luck to kill a seabird.
It's the soul of sailors. What met their maker.
And this little douche fuck ass bird keeps like he is. He keeps fucking with Pattinson.
He's a bit of a fuck ass.
Yeah, and then Pattinson's like, oh god, I'm drinking blood. So he goes out there, he's like, what happened to our water? And then I guess another seabird died in the water. And he's like, well, shit. And then the fucking boy comes over, the other seabird, and it's like, yeah, bitch, let's go. And Pattinson's like, fuck you, and just beats the ever-living fuck out of that thing. Yeah. And then from that point on, everything goes to shit. Mm-hmm. Or starts to slowly go
because
to
he
shit.
killed the seabird.
Well, it's bad luck to kill a seabird.
Bad luck to kill a seabird. Okay, the accents in this movie are so fantastic. It's one of the best things about the movie, but it's also a detriment because it's often difficult to understand what they're saying.
It is. I would definitely appreciate subtitles.
I say for Willem Dafoe, I can understand most of what Pattinson was saying.
Well,
some Willem Dafoe was just like...
Well, Pattinson doesn't speak in paragraphs.
Yeah.
He just speaks... He has a couple monologues, but it's really just kind of like...
You can impersonate Willem Dafoe in this movie just by going, I'm afraid that
I would definitely... I would like to have subtitles.
Please.
Nice.
Please, Robert.
Please.
Please.
Mr. Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it was fantastic, though.
Yeah.
And then you had this interesting theory about Robert Pattinson's accent changing.
Oh, yeah. I think the reason... Because it does kind of change throughout the movie.
Fluctuates.
Yeah.
And I think it's... the background of Robert Pattinson's character is that he murdered one of his...
Well, he didn't kill him.
Well, we're not quite sure.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Because he's unreliable.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
he said his friend fell.
He fell and he didn't help him.
Yeah.
But I think he pushed him.
I don't know.
Because he said like, "Oh, I could have killed him, but I didn't. I swear."
Yeah.
So I was like, I think he killed him.
I don't know.
But anyway,
I didn't think he did. But...
Anyway, so what I mean, but what the main idea is that the guilt is eating at him, and that he's taking on this other persona, so he can kind of lay low until he can get enough money to
go out and get his house, and then no one will tell him what to do anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's taken the identity
of
the friend that died.
Ephraim Winslow.
Ephraim Winslow.
My name's Winslow.
But his real name is Tom. Both of their names are Tom, actually.
Yeah. But I think the at first he's like trying to imitate Willem Dafoe's accent because he's like trying to hide
and blend in.
Or like when he gets drunk, he eventually slips just back into his normal accent.
Yeah,
which is kind of like a transatlantic sort of accent. It's just a minor thing, but I thought because at first I was like,
it's interesting.
His accent I was like, there's something weird about his accent because it's not consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I thought it was the performance, but then I realized it was the performance, but in a good way.
Yeah, that's another thing. We're watching it twice helps definitely.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else to talk about this movie?
I
mean, go see it. I think.
Yeah, go see it.
Oh, should we talk about the only thing that people talk about when they mention the lighthouse?
The masturbation scenes?
Yep. The aggressive masturbation scene.
To the fucking Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid idol.
Yeah, and then he was like, I can't do it anymore. And he broke it and stabbed it.
The curse is broken.
Yeah,
there are some vigorous masturbating scenes.
Yes.
Aggressive masturbation.
You gotta get after it.
And while he's like fantasizing about having sex with a mermaid, also apparently
seeing the light.
Yeah, apparently mermaids have vaginas, which I did not know.
Giant vaginas.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because most like mermaid lore or most mermaids, mermaids were created because of sailors that are on sea that haven't seen women in months.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for them to have vaginas.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, I want to
fuck the mermaid. Yeah.
I want to fuck the manatee.
Fuck the manatee. Fuck the manatee.
But yeah, I think that's... But yeah, it was... There was a deliberate focus on it. I was like,
I was like,
don't want to know if I want to see that ever again. There's some disturbing shit in this movie.
But yeah, that it just kind of like helps trigger more of the sexual frustration in terms of gradually going mad.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of sexual frustration in this movie.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of pent up.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it is November, so we might be experiencing some.
Okay, on a different topic.
I'll cut that out.
So, shall we?
But yeah, The Lighthouse. So do you want to get into ratings?
Sure. Mine is an 8. I really, really liked it.
Mine is an 8 as well. I thought Robert Pattinson was fantastic. I thought Willem Dafoe was good, but I thought Pattinson was like,
I think he was better.
I felt some...
he has a meteor role.
Yeah. I thought that the beginning was a little slow, but other than that, I thought it was just effing beautiful.
Yeah. I give it a 9.
Yeah!
When was the last time I gave the highest score to something?
I don't know.
Ever.
The Lego movie?
Probably, yeah. I think
maybe. Well, also, okay, Climax doesn't technically count for this year, but we did review it on the channel, so you gave the highest rating for that as well. But this is your first 9 for a movie that is counting toward
this year.
Toward this year.
It was the first 9 in general.
Woo! So, woo! Yeah! So that makes the final verdict for The Lighthouse an 8.3.
8.3.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Great way to start.
Lighthouse!
Yeah, I only saw 3 movies this month.
As did I.
Yeah, but we saw the same 3. But those 3 that we saw collectively have made this month my favorite month of the year in terms of movies.
Me too.
Yeah.
Made me very happy.
Far and
very
away.
happy. A happy film fan.
However,
happy film boy.
Since we only saw 3 movies, that's just between Josh and I. Yes. Cameron, however,
yes, I saw
more
some
movies
others, and
it
wasn't as great.
So, I think let's just get into Gemini Man.
We'll get into the Gemini Man.
Oh boy!
All right, so this is the highly anticipated Ang Lee action flick with Will Smith, and Ang Lee's like, God, I just love high frame rates for some reason. So
yeah, wasn't it shot in like?
It was shot in like 120, 160, something like that.
Jesus.
He's like, you have to see it like that in 3D, or you will not get my vision.
Wasn't it? It was like shot in a really high like resolution as well.
Yeah, and it looks really ugly. Like
technology is not.
It just looks like the cinematography just looks weird. Like it just kind of looks fake.
It looks like it
like makes everything look fake.
On the trailer, it looks like they're standing in front of a green
yeah,
screen.
But like they're not in a lot of the shots. Like they're not, but like it looks fake. And I guess it's just because. Well, that's whatever. But there's a lot more problems. So yeah, it's like Ang Lee's like, I want to make a movie where Will Smith's like, hey, we're gonna fight my younger version. This has been in development since like the 90s.
That makes sense.
This movie. And then it finally gets made with 3 screenwriters that all write different types of movies. Yes. And fucking Ang Lee making an action movie. Yeah. So, this movie is just an absolute abomination. It is so horrible. The acting is rancid. The dialogue is so bad. Like, it was one of the worst scripts I have seen in a long time.
Oh, dang.
Like, it is just, like, it's painful. And, like honestly, like, the first 5 minutes, like, you know what the movie is. Like, it just sucks so hard. Like, oh my... And the shit for the young Will Smith, it looks like... It fluctuates, because there's some scenes where it looks so good, and there's some scenes where, like... There's, like, a scene at the very end. Okay, I'm gonna spoil shit. There's a scene at the very end where they fucking let Junior... He's at a fucking... He has a normal life now. He's at a fucking college, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Will Smith are there, and then you just get this shot of him with his friends walking with Junior, and he's like, hey! And then he walks up, it's like, hey, guys, I kind of want to go into be an engineer. And then them, who are, I guess, his parents, are like, no, sport, do this. Don't listen to him, do this. And then it just turns into like a sitcom, and then they walk off, and it's like a wide shot, and you see them walking away, and then we slowly fade to black, and they got to live lives.
Bee Venom.
Wait, Bee Venom, yeah. So does young Will Smith actually age?
Yeah, he does. Because he was made as a kid, and he was Clive Owen's kid, and Clive Owen raised him, and he likes to play Xbox games. He has an Xbox in his house, and
but he was like a genetically engineered human. He was a genetically engineered
human, but he like grew up like normal. And the first time they see each other, he doesn't even fucking react that he's trying to kill an older version of himself. Well, the old Will Smith's like, whoa, that kind of looks like me. But the new one's just like, you're a target. And they give him the fucking file before, so wouldn't he be like, hey, Dad, this kind of looks like me. Now, no?
I mean, I guess it'd be kind of harder to recognize yourself older than yourself younger.
But you still look similar.
Right.
I mean, they're definitely both Will Smith.
He's like in his like 20s. Like, and Will Smith hasn't particularly aged like poorly.
No.
So he still looks relatively the same. But it's just, and then like he's allergic to bee venom. And there's a part.
It's a big plot.
He literally has a fucking little thing on his gun that can shoot bee venom. And Junior's like, pop. And then old Will Smith's like, I'm hurting. And then he's like, my daddy wants to hurt you. I don't like my dad anymore. We'll stop him. And then he gives him the antidote, and they go fight Clive Owen, and they kill off Clive Owen's goons. But then Clive Owen calls in his contingency plan, and it's another Will Smith. And this guy has like he has like a fireproof suit.
Oh my god. What is that? I don't know what the hell that was.
He has a fireproof suit and he runs in and they all just like fucking shoot him like 50 times and he finally is just like and like falls down there and then he can't feel pain, so he eventually is just like and dies. And Clive Owen's like, why would you make me do it? We should make clones so the American people won't die. But then Will Smith's like, these are people, Mitch. And then young Will Smith's like, I gotta kill him. And old Will Smith's like, no, you don't want those demons. And then he takes the gun and just blows Clive Owen's head off.
Fun.
And the movie's god-awful. It's terrible. It sucks. Don't see it. It sucks. No one did anyway. 2 out of 10.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
2. Yeah. I thought that was very appropriate.
For Gemini.
How amazing.
So
how beautiful.
Next we're going on to El Camino.
El Camino. All right, this El
Camino.
This is a Breaking Bad movie. Vince Gilligan came back and was like, I have the story that I want to tell of Jesse Pinkman. So, this movie takes place right where Breaking Bad ended. Have you guys seen Breaking Bad?
I know where it ends.
You know where it ends?
I think I've seen the last episode. Which
I won't spoil
really
it.
Weird.
Yeah. No, I know how it ends.
You do? Okay.
So, yeah.
So, like, Jesse's on the run. Jesse, we need to cook, bitch! So, and Jesse's on the run from the cops, and he goes to his pals, Skinny Pete and Badger, and he's like, yo, my boys, help me. And they're like, all right, we got you, dude. So, like, they hide him out for a little bit, and then the whole movie is basically just like, you liked Breaking Bad, right? You liked Breaking Bad, right? You liked Breaking Bad, right? We'll just do flashbacks and show a story that really did not fucking need to be told at all. Oof. But it has good moments, but it's just like they just manufacture a lot of tension. Like there's like this one, he runs into like these goons because he's trying to get this money, and then the goon is like, hey, I recognize you. And then we get like a flashback where he's the one who like made the cage he was changed up in the show. So it's like now he was the real villain all along. So it's like, all right. And then Jesse goes to goes to his parents' house and gets some guns, and goes there and he's like, hey, we're gonna fight and have a duel. They literally have a fucking like a Western duel.
Wow.
But like Jesse, like he cheats because he has a gun in his like shirt pocket or his like jacket pocket, and he shoots him like that and kills him. And the guy's like, and then he's like dead. And then, like, the other guy's friend... The scene is so fucking poorly done. The other guy's friend goes and grabs a gun. And they're literally, like... I mean, don't know how to say it, show it since it's audio. But they're really maybe 5 feet apart from each other. Just pointing the guns right at each other. Missing. Just constantly missing. And then Jesse gets a headshot. It's just like, what?
Amazing.
Like, it's just so weird. It's like, he has enough... So he pulls out one gun, misses all of his shots, has enough time to bend over, get another gun, while the guy's still shooting at him, and doesn't get hit once. And then Jesse, who's not a fucking marksman, just caps him in the head.
Wow.
I'm like, what the hell? Like, why? Like,
what a cinematic masterpiece.
It's just, it was weird.
Did you watch Better Call Saul whenever that came out?
I've watched some of it. It doesn't have anything to do. Saul isn't mentioned like once.
Does it compare at all, or?
I mean, I like Better Call Saul. I liked it more.
Okay.
Well, Better Call Saul was a prequel,
right?
So it actually kind of has a point for existing, because well, my whole thing is just like the way like Breaking Bad ends. It's like Jesse drives off and gets away, and that's really all I needed to know. Because that's enough for me to be like, oh, he probably. Because literally, I'm theorized. I'm like, oh, he probably went and got a new life in Alaska. And that's exactly what happens. I mean, I didn't need to watch 2 hours to like see that. Yeah. I just know. Like, I'm never like, if I ever rewatch Breaking Bad, I'm not going to be like, all right, 5 seasons, now I got to watch El Camino. I'm just going to be like, he gets away. Yeah. You know? Like, it's just very just unnecessary. It's just, but like it's got moments throughout that are nice. Like they bring back like there's a little like Walter White cameo flashback, and that was nice to see them talking again. And it's got like some good suspenseful moments. And there's a moment at the end where he writes this letter, and they're like, you don't think you're gonna get to see who it's from, but then like as he drives off, the like camera kind of like dollies in, you see, and it's like it's to his girlfriend's son, who his girlfriend gets killed, and he like wrote his like final letter to him, and I was like, oh well, that was cute. I liked that. And there's little moments like that in between, and I'm like, oh yes, that as a Breaking Bad fan,
that's really it.
That I really like, but that's about it. So I'm gonna give Mel Mamino a 6.
Wow, it's in the 40s.
It is a 33 on my list.
Wow, out of how many?
Out of 62.
Dang. I've only seen like 40 movies this year.
I've only seen 37. But anyway,
look at Cameron
getting
all the movies out
guys.
there. Alright, literally carrying this podcast.
Yeah, so El Camino's very okay.
Now we move on to Hustlers.
Hustlers?
Ooh,
all right.
Also a Cameron only.
All right, so Hustlers. This is a film directed by, I think her name's Lauren Scafaria. I think it's her directorial debut. Not entirely sure.
Oh, nice.
Yay for directorial debuts.
Yeah. So this movie had some trailers that came out, and I was like, wow, this looks like dog shit. And then it screened at, I think, TIFF, and everybody was like, holy shit, it's so good! And I was like, oh, okay. So then, but I didn't think I was going to go see it because I still didn't really have any interest to. And then one night during fall break, my dad was like, 10:25, Hustlers, we're going. So I was like, all right. So we went to go see Hustlers, and it's actually like really good.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, like I went into it, I was like, please be good. These trailers have sucked, but I'm going to give it a chance. And it was really good. It's a really interesting story. It's just basically like these like girls at a strip club after the whole the housing crisis. All the Wall Street fucks, you know. They're like, well, you fucked all of us over. How about we fuck you? So like they just start basically like taking advantage of them and like taking all of their money for themselves. And then keeps going and going and going. But then they get a little greedy and the cops get on them, and it's
Wait, so there's conflict in this movie?
Yeah, there's a lot of conflict.
What?
Yeah. There's conflict, and the cast is really great. Jennifer Lopez is fantastic. Constance Wu is great. I'm trying to think of who else is in it. Keke Palmer is great. Lily Reinhart is great. Cardi B has a little cameo in the beginning, and I'm like, get out of here, please. I don't like you.
Wasn't Lizzo in this as well?
Yeah, she just has like one moment where she's like, ha ha. And I'm like, Lizzo.
I'm Lizzo.
I'm Lizzo. And everyone's like,
where the hell my phone?
So yeah, it's very like high energy. Like the stuff in like the strip club, like it's really like it's filmed in a way that just like really is just like, because they like have the music blaring and they got the really cool like visuals with the lights, and it's just very inventively shot, and it's a lot of like really like very impressive one takes that I was like, wow, it's actually still going, because they'll like follow them out there and they'll do a dance, and then when they're done with the dance they'll go into the crowd, and like it just like keeps it on like the whole time, and it's just really interesting like the way it's done. And I just like I went into it expecting to hate it, and I came out of it actually really enjoying it. So
that's good.
Yeah. I'm going to give Rustlers a 7.5 out of 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pour one out for Hustlers.
Pour one out for Hustlers. Yeah.
Alrighty. So our next movie we have all three seen. He's still going.
Still doing it.
Until you say it.
Say what it is.
Saw it an hour before.
Yeah, we just saw this.
Oh,
we're not going. Yeah. We saw it a couple 1 or 2 hours before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's really good.
My hands are getting tired, Paul.
And who directed it?
Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah, Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah.
No, keep going.
And the
keep
film.
The pace.
And the film is
Parasite.
Yes.
Ow.
So,
what a movie it was.
Parasite was
great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's really good.
Okay, because the thing that I was interested about this movie is that everyone has said that it's incredible, but I watched the trailer a couple times, and every time I've watched the trailer, I haven't been able to figure out what it's about.
Same.
Yeah, and the
there's a reason.
And it's still kind of hard to even
the trailer's
tell what it's about.
Very misleading, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, watching the movie, I was like, especially the first, hour, it was like a comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I was like, this trailer, marketed this very weirdly. If this is how the whole movie is.
It's a very dark comedy, though.
Yeah.
Because Parasite's a movie about a Korean family, I think?
South Korean.
South Korean, yes. South Korean family.
South Korean family.
Family of 4, who basically cons this rich family into separately hiring all 4 of them to work for them, not knowing that they are members of the same family. And then one night, while the family is away, things go horribly wrong, and hijinks ensue.
And that's when the movie, for me, gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
It's
crazy.
It is.
Okay, I feel like we should say now, this movie is the reason the spoiler warning is there, because we cannot talk about this movie without spoiling everything.
I will say, for this movie, if you haven't seen it, I would suggest skipping this part.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to see it, don't listen to this part.
Yeah, because
this is probably really affect the movie.
Yeah, this movie has a bunch of twists and turns, and it's really good.
Just trust us.
Trust us on this one.
Don't be deterred because it's got subtitles.
Yes.
Going into it, I was like, oh, subtitles, Cameron's scared. But it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly accessible movie. It doesn't
really
feel like a foreign film. It just feels like a film where they talk in a different language and there's subtitles.
So you guys talked about a movie with subtitles and a black and white movie on the podcast? I don't know if I can listen to it anymore.
I know.
But yeah, so all right, we're gonna talk about spoilers. 3, 2, 1,
go. All right, so they get the housekeeper.
Yeah,
they get her fired, so the mom can work there. But one night when the family is away, because it was Daesung, I think that was his name, the little prodigy artist kid. It's I want to camp, mom. So they all go camping, and they're I guess they left the housekeeper there to house sit. But then she's like, come on, family, let's party it up. So they're all there and they're drinking whiskey and just living it up and having fun. And then the housekeeper's like, hey, let me in. I left something in the basement.
The previous housekeeper.
Yeah, the previous housekeeper who got fired because they kept messing with her peach allergy.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, I left something in the basement. And they're like, all right, come get it. Come to find out, it's her freaking husband.
Yeah. There's a secret chamber behind the liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
And she knew about the chamber because she worked for the previous owner before the new family came, and she just never told the new family about it.
The previous owner was the architect of the house.
Yeah. Right. And so her husband, who is broke, has just been staying in this
down there
bunker
forever.
And she's been feeding him for 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's down there, so the mom's confronting her. It's what's going on here? I'm going to call the cops. And then the family all falls down there. And the old housekeeper's like, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, records them.
We're the same family.
Yeah. And records them. And then they take them upstairs and they make them dance and stuff. Because haha, we've got the phone. And then they all start fighting over it.
Yeah. They grab peaches and start rubbing it.
And they start rubbing it on her face. And then they get the camera back. Or they get the phone back, right? I think. Then they delete it.
But
then
the
they're like, hey,
early.
The river was overflowing. Make us some Ramadan, please. And they're like, oh god, what the fuck is Ramadan? So she
they're trying to clean the house and make Ramadan and get the
goons back down there.
Yeah, the housekeeper and her
husband. And they tie the husband up. And then
they push the old housekeeper down the stairs.
Well, they like have her down there, but she like gets away. And she like runs back up there, and the mom pushes her down there, and she like
cracks her skull.
Yeah. Survives
for a little bit,
barely.
But,
so like the guilt of them being there and possibly being dead kind of gets to all of them, as well as their house gets flooded that night.
Yeah, well, also just them getting out and saying what they did too.
Yeah,
and they're probably worried about that.
They're in too deep now.
Yeah, they're in too deep, and then their house gets flooded.
Because of the rain.
Because of, like, the rain and, like, the sewage is, like, freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And all that. And they lose a lot of their stuff. But the son gets his magical rock that he has a big infatuation with. He's just like, I like the rock, you know?
He's like, I like this
I like this rock. And he, like, keeps it. And then they're, like, in, like, this, like, gym. And it's like, Dad, you said you had a plan. What's the plan? He's like, I don't have a plan. The best kind. And then the son's like, oh no. Yeah. So then the next day, they're like, hey, we're just having an impromptu little birthday celebration for Daesung.
The little boy.
Would you guys like to come? And so then everyone ends up going. And the boy's there. And... He's with... Oh, yeah, the boy's, like... I assume, what is he, college age? And he's with a sophomore girl?
I think he's in high school. I thought he was a senior.
No, he's in college,
yeah.
Well, he's college age.
Okay. Yeah, I was confused because he said he wasn't in college and he was intending to go to a school next year. And so...
Yeah, well... No, well...
And I just assumed his friend in college was a friend that he had from high school.
Well, I was thinking he was saying I was going to go next year because he was going to use the money he would get from this job to pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he is college age, he just can't afford it.
Right.
Okay.
And he gets with a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah, because he's her tutor, and she's like, I like you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's like, I want
money, so I will still be with you. And he's like, talking to her, and he's like, do I fit in here? And she's like, yeah. And then he's like, well, go out to the party. I have to do some things. And so he has the magical rock again. And I'm assuming he was going down there to kill him?
Yeah, he was going to make sure they were dead.
Yeah, okay. And then his dumbass drops the rock. And it goes all the way down the stairs. He's like, oh, shit. And he, like, runs down there. And then this part horrified me.
Oh, my gosh.
Whenever he puts the, like, little chain around his neck and then pulls him back and, like, ties him to the thing and was going to hit him. And
the husband of the housekeeper does this to the son. The son does not do that to the husband of the housekeeper.
And then they have a little scuffle. And the son makes it back up, but then the guy, like, catches him on his, like, wire thing. And he falls to the ground and just smacks him in the head with the magical rock.
And he also survives.
And he survives, which I really don't like that.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense since he got immediate medical attention. Or pretty good.
Yeah, but like
he got to the hospital pretty fast.
I feel like his skull would have been fractured.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because he just straight up
throws it on him.
Well, he hits him full force, and then he just kind of throws it down on him too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was a little iffy that he survives that, but then the guy's like, "I'm free, woohoo!"
And before, so like the housekeeper has died of her head trauma from the mom pushing her down the stairs.
She's long gone.
And before she died, she managed to tell her husband the name of the woman who pushed her down, and so he's like ready to
I gotta
kill
find
the mom.
this woman.
And
so he goes upstairs, gets a knife.
Runs into the middle of this birthday party
and stabs Jessica,
who's the daughter,
the sister.
Yeah,
and she's bleeding out. And then she's like, "Where's Jung Suk? I'm gonna fuck you up." And then she comes out and it's like, "It's me." And then they get in a little scuffle, and they're like fighting. And he keeps like slashing her.
Yeah,
and then she stabs him with like
a thing,
and he's like, "Ouch!"
He dies, and then the little boy who's having the birthday party, he's freaked out by all of this, so he starts to have a seizure.
He starts having a seizure.
And the thing is, like, none of the rich people know how to drive, and so, or like
they don't know how to drive. Well, like,
since they're rich, they're like, oh my gosh, we have to go to the hospital. Let's get our driver to do it for us.
And he's like, no. And then Mr. Park.
Who's the man that they...
It's like, give me the keys, Dad, the Mr. Kim guy. He throws it to him, but then, like, the guy's body falls
on it. Yeah.
So this rich man has to do the very difficult thing of moving a guy's dead body to pick up his keys, and he's like, "Oh, the dead body smells bad."
Yeah.
And then
which is a plot point through the rest, like, or is a thing throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah, because they're always like, you, Mr. Kim, you smell like crap.
Yeah.
And your family smells like shit too. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, you know what? Fuck you, Mr. Park.
And so he
kills him. And then
hides out in
the bunker. And Kevin and the mom survive, but Jessica dies.
Mm-hmm. Poor Jessica.
Yeah.
I love what this movie has to say about class and how, like, over time it gradually becomes more and more about that throughout the movie. Mm-hmm. Because you start to realize the parallels between the working class family and the upper class family. Sort of like how their house literally gets flooded because of the rain and they are now homeless. And then the very next day, the rich family is like, "Oh yeah, the rain caused us to cancel our camping trip, so our little boy's upset, but it was honestly like a blessing, so we're just gonna throw together like this big party. You all can come."
It was like, wow, the sky looks really blue today. It must be because it rained. I'm so glad that it rained yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as like Mr. Kim's driving and he's just like,
my house is literally gone.
Yeah.
And like, I think the most obvious aspect of the whole class situation is that people are literally dying in their backyard and they're concerned about the smell.
It was a really good movie, though.
It was a really good movie.
Man, rich people suck.
Shot incredibly well.
Pretty well.
Music was great.
Music was pretty good.
Yeah.
Music was fun.
all the performances were pretty solid.
Yeah, they were all great.
Really
yeah. They all had great chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, it was just try to see it if you can. I guess, the people who are listening hopefully have seen it.
Yes.
But it's only out this week, and
it's probably going to be gone soon, so
it's gonna
you need to get after it if you want to see it.
Sign up for like the Fandango warning thing or whatever to be like, hey, it's coming. Because that's that's how I figured it out. Because I was like, when is this movie coming out?
See a movie?
Yeah.
So I signed up for the thing where it was like, alert me.
Alert me.
But yeah.
Oh, speaking of indie movies not being around, Cameron, did you see that The Nightingale is now on Hulu?
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to watch that.
Yes.
I haven't seen that.
The Nightingale is now on Hulu. This is a public service announcement. Yeah. Unless I seriously misinterpreted what I saw, I'm pretty sure it was one of the first things that showed up on the opening page.
Cameron's looking now.
I'm looking now. Not the Nightingale. Fuck.
The Nightingale.
There it is.
There we are.
The Nightingale before
Christmas.
Yeah.
There's my girl. Kick ass. We're gonna hop into ratings.
Yeah, let's get some ratings. If you skipped through the whole past bit about Parasite, here's where you can re-enter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ratings.
Yeah, ratings.
Mine's a 9, second best movie of the year. Well, second favorite. Art is subjective.
Mine is an 8.
Mine is also a 9.
Fun.
Also my second favorite movie of the year. Or second best movie of the year.
That makes the final score for Parasite an 8.7. I do think, though, that makes Parasite the highest rated movie that all three of us have seen this year.
Yeah.
So, pour one out for that.
Thank you, Sight Pair.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, how are we going to actually have a top 10 list for this year, rank all the movies?
At the end?
Well, because the thing is,
we can all have our own.
Our own, and then the overall one.
Or we could maybe, we could all, we could do it all, maybe we could all do, our 10s, and we could all do our 9s, and we could all do our 8s.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd
be a cool video to do, I think.
At the end of the year, maybe.
So, yeah, let's get into it. So now we
Don't wanna.
Cameron... another our part 2 of our Cameron
There
segment.
is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have
Please.
30 minutes.
I'm trying to run a show here. So now we'll move on to Cameron's part 2 of his
part 2
segment,
of my little solo part,
which he will discuss Zombieland Double Tap.
All right, Zombieland Double Tap. This is the highly waited for, or whatever. Anticipated, yeah. The highly waited for sequel of the original Zombieland. And the original Zombieland came out in 2009, and it was a really, really just fun time. It was really self-aware, kind of a lot of fourth wall breaking stuff. Just really fun. And I really liked the first Zombieland. I think it's really funny. So the sequel, It's been in development hell, if you will.
Really?
Yeah, they're trying to get it made forever. But, all of the actors in it, except for Abigail Breslin, sadly, have really done a lot of other stuff, so they've been, busy.
That's sad.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, Abigail Breslin was in Scream Queens.
Yeah, weird, yeah. Yeah. So then they all got back together, and they're all Academy Award nominated actors, which is funny enough.
Yeah.
And Emma Stone won. Yes. Thank you, Emma. I love you. And they're all come back for the sequel. And so it takes place 10 years later, and the zombies have adapted, and some of them are a little stronger now and a little harder to kill. And they call those ones the T-800s. And Terminator reference,
Really?
Yeah. And they're like, we gotta kill them. So then it starts with the 4 gang members. And they break into the White House, and like, well, gang, this is the new place now. We're gonna stay here. So they just chill in the White House for a little bit, and then Little Rock, Abigail Breslin's character, is like, I'm getting sick of being with all you. I haven't met anyone my age. So then her and her sister leave. They're trying to go somewhere. I forget where they were trying to go, but then they're stopped for a little bit. And then the sister meets this guy from Berkeley who's a hippie and likes to play guitar. And she's like, God, I like this man. So she abandons her sister and goes off with that man. And she's like, I love him. And then Emma Stone comes back to the boys and is like, hey, we got to go get my sister. But something has happened. Whenever they were doing a scavenging run, Tallahassee and Columbus in a... mall, and they run into this new girl, Madison, who's been able to live for 10 years because she was stayed in a freezer at a Pinkberry, and the zombies don't like the cold. Yeah, so she's like, all right, hi, and she's just like a ditzy blonde, but she is so fucking funny, and she's like, all right, Columbus, I haven't fucked anyone in years, so let's get it on. And he's like, hey, I'm kind of with someone right now. And she's like, you either do this or I'm fucking the old man. And he's like, all right. So then, they, go at it. And it's a month has passed. So whenever, oh, God, what's Emma Stone's fucking name? Wichita. Yeah, Wichita. Her character comes back. She's like, hey, Columbus, we got to help find my sister. And then they're, talking. And then, Madison comes down. And she's like, hey, are you coming back to bed? And then, Wichita's like, oh, so you are doing this chick. And he's like, yeah, but you left me. So then they have a little thing throughout the movie of kind of some conflict, if you will, relationship conflict over that. Yeah, it's basically just about them trying to go and find Little Rock. And then, they stop at this motel. And they run into Rosario Dawson. And they also run into fucking Luke Wilson and Thomas Middleditch, who are basically just cheap knockoffs of Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg. And do you want me to spoil it or not?
It's up to you.
Okay, it's up to you guys.
I've never seen the first Zombieland, unfortunately.
So they're there, and they're he comes up, he's like, hello everyone. And they have, that whole scene. And there's some zombies out there, and they're like, don't worry, we got it. And then Jesse Eisenberg's like, they didn't listen to my rule, which is don't try to be a hero or whatever. So then they kill the zombies, but they come back in, they're all super sweaty, and they're like, oh, you guys look like shit. And turns out they all got they got bit, so they just turn into zombies, and we get this there's this really fun scene where it's just in this hotel lobby. It's this really big one take fight of them trying to kill their two zombies. It's just really funny. It's really fun, and they eventually do. Oh, birds. And then they're like, we gotta find fucking the sister. So, also before this, they have Madison in the car, and they're she starts getting really sick and looking really sickly, and they're like, oh damn, I think she got bit. And she's out in the woods, and they take her out there, and they're like, you have to shoot her, Columbus. And then he's like, all right. And then he shoots, but you don't actually see what happens. And then come to find out they're driving down the road, and then she's driving down the road in front of them in an ice cream truck. And she's like, oh, hey, I found you guys again. And they're like, what happened to you? Why'd you look like you were turning into a zombie? And she was like, well, I didn't know trail mix had nuts in it. So they thought she was turning into a zombie, but she just had a bad nut allergy. Yeah, so then she's back with the gang, and they eventually make it to Babylon, which is where all the hippies are, if you will. And they get there, and they're like, hey, you have to melt your weapons, because we don't like guns here. And they're like, all right. And the Tallahassee's like, but how are you going to defend yourself against the fucking zombies, dumbasses? And they're like, tough, burn them. So, yeah. So they all burn their guns, but they go in there and Little Rock's there. But then they start shooting off fireworks and shit. And then all the zombies are like, wow, bright lights, me liking. So they like go over to it. And then like Tallahassee and all of them are there. Like, we got to stop him. So they like light them all on fire and like they like blow them all up. And then they're about to get killed. And then Rosario Dawson comes back in the monster truck that fucking Luke Wilson and Thomas Middleditch had, and she like runs all them over, but then it flips over and she's like, damn it, we have to run. So like they have this plan where they have all the people up there and they lead the zombies up this tower and they give all the people like shields and they kind of just have them like lined up like a line and a line, and they just like lead the zombies like through them, and then like Tallahassee like jumps on like a hook, so they all just like fall off the building and die and like kill them all. And then, after that, Columbus and Wichita, they reconcile because, of course, they do. And,
it's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. And then Little Rock's like, yeah, I don't really like you, Berkeley, because you're just dumb. So then Madison's like, I kind of want to make out with this man. So they get after it. Rosario Dawson and Woody Harrelson and Abigail Breslin and Emma Stone and Jesse Eisenberg, they all go and ride off together. And they're all going to do some more hijinks in the zombie apocalypse. And that is Zombieland 2. Thank you for coming. That was my TED Talk. Yeah.
So what'd you think?
I'm sorry that I just explained that whole thing. Yeah, but I don't know.
I feel like I've seen the movie now.
Yeah, I mean... So yeah, it's really funny.
It seems funny.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like they keep it very in line with the spirit of the first one. The best part about the movie is the girl who plays Madison, Zoe Deutsch. Oh my god, she is so freaking funny. She makes this movie. Just every time she's on screen, I was just like dying. I was like, more of you, please. So like, people in Hollywood, give her more work because she's fucking talented. And I really like. Yeah,
this has been a good month for her because The Politician also came out. So
she's great in that too.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really great. It's really funny. It's a fun time. It's pretty much exactly what you want it to be, what you expect it to be, and it's a fun time. So I'm gonna give this puppy a 7.
Fun.
Yeah.
And now Maleficent.
Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, the other highly anticipated sequel from Disney. So I had never seen the original Maleficent until a day before I saw the sequel. Because some people I'm friends with were like, we want to see the second one, you're watching the first. And I was like, okay, I will. And I watched the first, and it was dog shit terrible. It sucked ass. And I was like, wow, well, maybe the second one will be better. And it is better, but still not good. Oh. And so, basically in this one, Aurora is like, Prince Philip wants to marry me, Maleficent. Let's go to the castle. And Maleficent's like, all right, beastie, we'll do it. So they go to the castle, and then Michelle Pfeiffer is like, I don't like you, bitch. And like makes Maleficent mad. So Maleficent's like, and I start shooting her green shit at people. The king is like, and just like falls over. And then Michelle Pfeiffer's like, witch, you cursed him. And Maleficent's like, I would never. And she like flies away. But then this like goon like shoots her with because the people in Maleficent's forest, they don't like iron. Iron hurts them. Right. And she shoots her with iron, and she's like, and she like falls into the water. But then fucking Chiwetel Ejiofor comes out and saves her, and then takes her to this like cave out in the ocean, and he's like, hey, you spent your life defending humans. Now it's time to defend your own.
Yes.
Turns out there's an entire race of the Dark Fae. All those like horn-winged humanoid people. And they're like, we fucking hate humans. We want to kill them all. And she's like, but Aurora's nice. And they're like, yeah, but what about the others? And then the whole other time, like, Michelle Pfeiffer's like, yeah, fuck all these goons. We need to kill them all. Oh, I have an idea. So she's like, all fairy creatures, you can come to the wedding. She invites them to the wedding just so she can kill them all. So what she does... it's actually really dark for a kid's movie. She puts them all in the church, and then basically just starts like gassing them. Like fucking like Auschwitz type shit from like the Holocaust, and starts gassing them. Whenever they get gassed, they just like turn into like flowers or like whatever, and just starts like killing them all. Yeah, because like this like chick is like playing the organ, and every time she plays like certain notes, it shoots out more gas, and like more of them start dying. And then like one of like the fairies is like, you know what, I love you fairy girls, but time for the big sacrifice. And she fucking flies into the organ and like gets killed, but like blocks it. And then the other fairy is like, no, not our friend. And they go up there and fucking fight with the redhead, and then just basically like, kick her off the balcony of the the church, and she falls and dies. And then they get them all out of the church. But while this is going on, all the dark fays are like, fuck humans, so they start attacking the castle, and they have a big fight too. And the Maleficent comes back, and she's like, I am gonna fuck this bitch up. And she tries to do it, but she tries to shoot Aurora, the queen, and then Maleficent's like, no, my baby, and protects her, and then literally gets like dusted. Oh. And then she's like dead, and then Aurora's like, no, not my mother, and some tears fall down, and I guess that's enough magic to make Maleficent fucking come back to life. And she comes back as like a fucking bird, like phoenix thing, and she's like, rah! And then Michelle Pfeiffer's like, uh-oh. And so she grabs so she like grabs Aurora and is like, fuck you, bitch, and like throws her off the castle. And then Maleficent's like, I gotta save her. So then Maleficent goes and gets her and saves her. The queen's like, running away. And then like she gets stopped by all these like dark fae people. And they had a really cool opportunity here. I was like, oh, ooh, this could be nice. Because like the fae people hate her, because she's killed a lot of their kind. But fucking Michelle Pfeiffer hates them because she thinks that her brother got killed by one of them. He didn't, but you know. And so they're there, and they all, like, 4 of them kind of like surround her and stop her. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. The people who actually have a motivation to kill her actually get to kill her. But they don't fucking kill her. Like they're just like fucking with her and like messing with her. And then Maleficent's like, into a goat, and turns her into a goat. And it's like, yeah, fuck her, we got her, boys. That's her comeuppance. She's just a goat. And then the fucking turns out she was the one who put the curse on the king and all that. It wasn't Maleficent, because Maleficent would never, because Maleficent's not bad.
Is innocent.
Has done nothing wrong. Yeah. And so then the husband wakes up and is like, oh, my boy, let's actually do the wedding and really get married. And then the goat's still there, and it's like, wait, is that mother? And they're like, yes, it is. Should we change her back? Only if I want to. And then Philip and Aurora get married, and it's happy-go-lucky bullshit. And I don't give a fuck about anyone in the movie. And
what's your rating?
I give it a 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
That seems generous.
That only because the third act was actually pretty fun. The action was pretty good. Yeah.
Well, all right.
Well,
now we move on to our last movie that we'll be reviewing, which is...
Oh, whatever could that be?
Joker.
What's that?
Joker.
I haven't heard of that.
It's the Clown Prince of Crime.
Clown of Crime.
Wait, is that the prequel to It Chapter 2?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's, have you seen the tweet that was like, it was like this scathing review of Joker, but they were like, a dark take on the Clown of Crime. They forgot to put Clown Prince of Crime.
The Clown of Crime.
There was like the Clown of Crime.
Beautiful.
But anyway, so Joker is a movie that came out at the beginning of October.
Yes.
I'm surprised if you haven't seen it by now.
Yeah. And it's incredibly controversial.
Very controversial.
It's a very dangerous movie
before it came out.
that people shouldn't see. Because it has awful content.
Because movies have never been this violent before.
Yeah.
Not even the movies that it was based on.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
Joker.
Do we want to talk about the controversy?
Sure. Which one? Just like...
I mean, the one recently is like kind of a controversy, but like...
About the stairs?
Yeah, but like...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that sucks.
Because the stairs that he dances on...
Oh, people are there now?
Well, it's like social media influencer spot now.
It's like a tourist attraction now, but it's an actual place in the Bronx that people live close to. So
I mean, it's kind of a cool staircase, I guess.
It is cool,
Right, but now it's kind of like exploiting these people.
It's like gentrifying the area.
Yeah.
So, which, I mean, that sucks, but like, I mean, you can't blame the movie.
Yeah. I don't think you can blame the movie.
You just blame the assholes that are...
They're just doing that.
I mean...
what, you shoot a movie at fucking... You shoot a movie anywhere, people might go there. It's not really the movie's fault.
Yeah, right. I don't think you can blame a movie for, like...
Because that's what Todd Phillips was trying to do. Yeah. He wanted to just cause a ruckus.
Like, he can't... Yeah. He can't... Obviously, with messages in a movie, you can kind of... you can somewhat predict the consequences of the movie coming out. Like, somewhat. Yeah. But, like... You can't predict everything that's going to happen. Right. And that is definitely something that I don't think anyone really
would have predicted. Yeah.
Really would have predicted to happen.
And it is a bad situation. Yeah. But it
sucks.
Was not...
I don't know if it's like... For it. Yeah, I don't play the movie. But, and then the one previously, before the movie came out...
The violence and all that?
Was, how it would inspire
violence.
Incels
and it's a toxic,
to rise up.
We don't need another toxic white man on screen.
And kill people.
And it's... Just it's stupid because if we're gonna hold this movie by this standard, we need to do it for every movie then,
right? And
because like fuck, does Infinity War glorify genocide? Because that's what Thanos wants to do.
I don't know.
It's just by that argument, it's just stupid. Like,
right?
Yeah,
and this glorifies gun violence.
Well, I was just gonna say like Thanos isn't the protagonist of Infinity War. I mean, Joker isn't exactly a good guy.
Well, Thanos is debatably
he has the most screen time in the movie.
Well, just because you have the most screen time doesn't mean you're the...
I would consider Thanos the protagonist of Infinity War.
It's his movie.
Really?
I mean, he's not like he's a villain, but he's
right.
But he has.
I think he's like he's the main character of Infinity War.
No, but what I mean is like in Infinity War, it's very clear that he is in the wrong because all the characters that you've been rooting for over the years are saying we need to stop them. Whereas in Joker, the character you're following the entire movie is the one who is in the wrong.
But they've had movies
but it's also Joker. Who's the most famous villain?
He's a villain. Right. You know what he's doing isn't good,
right? And so,
I mean, yes, you might be able to understand it, but you know he's going about what he's doing the wrong way.
No. Yeah, I'm not trying to justify what it's like.
It's just I don't know. I feel like people have a very thin faith in other people, so much to where they see something on screen and they say, "I want to replicate that.
I want to do that."
Now, that's not to say that it's never happened before, because it definitely has.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's... I mean, with Taxi Driver, there's that one guy that tried to kill... I don't remember the exact situation, but there was someone who was inspired by Taxi Driver, which is one of the movies that Joker is heavily inspired by. But I don't... That's not everyone who saw it. Everyone who saw it wasn't radicalized.
Yes, and we shouldn't have movies silenced because of like one person
that might
be
like I did this because I saw this movie.
Yeah. Like it's not fair. It's dumb. Like entertainment. I mean, if it makes you feel something, I think that's a good thing. Yeah. And if it makes you feel uncomfortable and you can't handle it, that's fine. But don't be like, no one should see this. Yeah. You can be like, it's not for me. I don't like it.
I don't like the messages.
I don't really like the message, but you shouldn't like cast it out to like everyone and just like don't see it, right? Because this is a dangerous film.
It's just very.
And when I heard all this before the movie, I was like, God, he must like eat a child or something. Like it must be like one of the worst violent things ever. And he shoots a couple people.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily what he does. It's just the way they go about it.
I guess because it's meant to be look like realistic or
it's just.
It's not glossy, it's dirty and just how it is. Yeah. And that scares people, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But, like, I don't know. I don't think it's very... I don't know. And it feels like a lot of people... I mean, I know there was a lot of people... Like, whenever the trailer came out, everyone was... This was already a controversy.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
really? I didn't even...
Like, Twitter blew up with, like...
Really?
Like, oh, this... it's another...
white male. Which, for the record, why the fuck does that have anything to do with it?
That the protagonist is a white male?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Joker has always been a white male.
You know, it's
my
whole thing is like...
I mean, literally white.
As a mixed man, I have some thoughts on this. My whole thing is just like, okay, would it have been okay if it was a black guy doing it and killing people? Is that acceptable?
From what I've heard, I mean,
I really hate that argument. It's lazy.
They think it's like, oh, this white guy is being treated as though he isn't white, doesn't have those privileges of being white and male, so then he goes crazy. Is what they're saying.
Really?
Yeah, that from what I've seen of the arguments, that's what it is.
What is that?
I thought that a lot of the controversy was that it was just going to like continue villainizing white men.
No,
and then
I mean, there is another.
I'm sure there's someone who probably.
Well, there's controversy I've seen that's like, the lead has to be the white guy again.
Yeah,
the Joker is a white dude.
He is a person who fell into a vat of acid that had his skin bleached white.
Yeah, and they have a white actor portray him. They always have. That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay to have characters.
It's alright,
especially like super iconic characters.
Yes.
Be exactly how they look.
Yes, there is nothing. There is nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, and you know,
God, like if you want stuff like that to happen, because there's a lot of characters out there that are black and Hispanic and Asian, but the movies don't get made. Make those movies.
Yeah. Or create stories.
Write stories with
those kinds of characters.
Yes.
If that's what you want to.
If that's what you want. Don't bitch about it and be like, "Oh God, a Joker should have been a black guy." Like, what is that? Like, I don't.
It's very odd. But anyway, let's get to the movie.
Yeah, the fact that we have to talk about this instead of the movie kind of upsets me.
It's kind of a bummer.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
But Joker, directed by Todd Phillips. Starring Joaquin Phoenix, is the story of one Arthur Fleck,
yes,
who works as for a clown agency as like a clown
called Ha-Ha's.
I think they also
they have strippers too. Yeah.
He's poor. He lives with his mother. He supports his mother because she's also mentally ill.
I take good care of my mother.
And he has dreams of being a comedian, making people laugh because his mom said he's born to joy and laughter. However, repeatedly throughout the movie, he's beaten up. He is forgotten by the system, by the wealthy in Gotham. Thomas Wayne
is a dick.
He gets cut off his medications for his mental illnesses, which he's a very mentally disturbed person and needs it. And so eventually, defending himself, he kills two people.
Well, he kills one of them in defense.
He
kills two of them in defense, and then one,
the other one he kills
just because he can.
He did because he didn't want it getting out that he killed two people, which he realizes that he kind of enjoyed doing.
Because he goes to the bathroom and dances. After, and then so great.
So then he spirals down this path towards madness and increasing violence until he is on the Murray Franklin show, which is a talk show. Murray Franklin, played by Robert De Niro,
is the asshole.
Where he on camera kills Murray Franklin,
taps him in the head.
And while all this is happening, in the background, Gotham is having a lot of social turmoil between the poor and the rich. The wealth gap is widening. And
the rioters all wear clown masks.
Because of the murders that was our protagonist, Arthur Fleck.
Oh, yeah.
While he was in his clown costume.
Because he kills 3 wealthy Wayne employees. Yeah.
Wealthy Gothamites.
Yeah, Gothamites,
if you will. Yeah. And so they, in response to Thomas Wayne calling all the poor of Gotham clowns, they dress up as clowns and
to start fucking the city
in protest. Up. Yeah, and eventually becomes this big anarchist movement in Gotham. So yeah, that's Joker.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's quite the movie.
Yeah.
Joaquin. Let's just start with Joaquin.
Joaquin Phoenix is fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
He elevates this movie.
God. To a whole different
level. Yeah. Without him, I don't know if it would necessarily be as good. I don't think it makes the movie. It really does.
It'd still be good.
Yeah, it'd still be pretty good. But he's
literally in, I think, every scene
Yeah.
So the whole movie rides on him. And boy, does he carry it.
It's just so... his performance is so nuanced and like...
And his descent into madness is so
deliberate,
well portrayed. There's just... every little now and then there's just little more steps and little more steps. And when he's finally Joker, it feels earned.
Yeah, it feels like, you
got
understand.
There. Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I have to clarify.
We have to preface, we're not saying it's a good thing that he did, but we understand the character motivation.
We understand the motivation.
This is a movie, by the way.
Yeah.
It is not real.
This is not real.
And Joaquin is just...
He's so great.
He's fantastic. I hope he gets nominated.
I really hope he gets nominated.
At the very least.
Right now, he is my favorite. For Best Actor.
Oh, for Best
Actor. Yeah. What's upsetting is that I saw Lighthouse after Joker, and as great as Robert Pattinson's performance was, and as much as I want to say I want him to win Best Actor, Joaquin Phoenix is just freaking
he's just oh my god,
he's at a whole other level.
He's so fantastic.
It's insanely good. Just the whole new take on the Joker. This is a character you and I have, or Cameron and I have been following for
ever,
and most people know.
I was like a little boy. I was like, I like the Joker, mama. Because I'd always watch the Batman cartoons and just everything, and
everything from Mark Hamill to the Joker and Brave and the Bold.
Heath Ledger,
Jack Nicholson.
Fuck you, Jared Leto.
That horrible,
hipster,
hipster phase in Suicide Squad,
where the Joker was bad for 10 minutes. Because that's how much screen time.
That's how much.
Sorry.
And so this is it's a different. I think this is probably the most different portrayal of the Joker I've ever seen.
Because it really explores him just as a person.
Yeah,
he's not really Joker for like the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, and the movie does make a lot of efforts to tie it to the universe with like it being set in Gotham and references to Wayne Enterprises, Thomas Wayne,
and even Bruce,
and Bruce. And even with that, it just still doesn't even feel like it's. It almost doesn't even feel like it's the.
It doesn't feel like a comic book movie at all. And that's one of my favorite things about it. Like it just feels like a film,
a character study. Yeah.
This is cinema, by the way, Martin.
Yeah, like he was gonna produce.
He was gonna fucking produce it. It's like, what is this jackass?
Is this what he means, or is he mean,
is this cinema?
Because this
isn't
a property based on a comic book.
Yeah. So is this because this isn't a theme park ride? This doesn't feel like a theme park ride.
I'm excited to go to Universal Studios and ride the Joker ride.
I like to ride the Joker ride.
Where I leave depressed.
Where I leave depressed about how awful society is.
Where I just chuckle to myself and say, we live in a society.
We live in a society. We do.
We live in a society where people like you live in a society.
We live in a society where people like Martin Scorsese want to bash comic book films.
But this doesn't feel like a comic book film.
No, that's one of my favorite things about it. It just feels like a movie. Like you take all the references to like the lore and stuff out of it, I think it'd still be a fantastic movie.
Right.
Like it doesn't need that stuff. It's just kind of like the little like cherry on top, if you will. And I'm like, oh, it's the Batman.
Yeah.
This definitely feels like a 1970s like Taxi Driver type movie. And I've never actually seen Taxi Driver, but I have seen Network, and this reminded me of Network a lot. Yeah.
It's very similar to King of Comedy and Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
It's a little to its detriment, I think.
Yeah.
But it still has it's just at least enough, I think, to stand on its own. Where it gets like it's kind of like all right.
It's a little predictable, which I mean,
with like how it's gonna go.
Yeah,
I never once thought he was gonna shoot himself on the show. I was like, he's gonna kill Murray, and then it's probably gonna be a big thing. And
I mean, going into the movie, it's predictable. I mean, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't know exactly. Turn into the Joker, and it's just going to be mayhem for the last 30 minutes.
And you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you know what's going to happen. I mean, I think the strength of the movie is being like, no, don't do this. Yes. And like at any, there's so many points where you could see like how it could be prevented.
Yeah.
And it's just. And it just makes it that much more tragic that like those steps are just never taken.
Or the thing that sucks, it's like because like he accidentally gets fired because he fucking drops the gun in the hospital. You know, and like I felt so bad for him, but like I get why the boss would be like, no,
you can't
do that. But I still, because like he didn't mean to, and he only just had that to protect himself, which it's a good thing he has that, because in the next scene that's when he gets attacked by those fuck stains.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, you know? It's hilarious.
When he drops it,
he's like,
and
then that little girl's like, and he's just like, no.
But yeah, I mean, this is an excellent movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's very
it's definitely
well made.
up there. I think the script probably could have used a little more work before.
For like what?
Just
exactly.
Just some kind of revisions. I definitely think the whole girlfriend thing could have been fixed.
Yeah.
It could have been handled a little better.
Yeah. The reveal of it?
Definitely the reveal.
Yeah. You didn't need to
that
show. I was like, that's just a classic example of like, we need to make sure they understand she's not real. But when she comes out and says, your name's Arthur, right? That's enough for me to be like, oh shit, he didn't know her.
Yeah.
If you have a brain, which everyone does. And
like even before that, you're like,
is that
something's wrong?
Something's odd, because she was like, were you stalking me? That's hot.
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
I thought that was you.
And like every time they're hanging out together, they're just hanging out together. We never actually see them.
We never see her
or anything.
Yeah, we never see her interact with anyone else when she's with him.
Yeah.
Like ever.
And I do think the subplot with his mom also got a little wonky at times. The whole maybe Thomas Wayne is actually his father, and I feel like that's really just an excuse for him to go to the mansion, meet Bruce, and then eventually learn the other stuff. So. Plus, I was just confused by that when he first read the letter. I was like, wait, this is a whole new plot element, and where's this going?
Yeah.
Well,
I thought it was
but that thing with his mom is like established from the very first scene with her.
Right.
She's like, send the fucking letter, bro.
Yeah, and I think it does have some purpose in the story with like how this isn't even something that like he inherited from his mom. Like this wasn't destined to happen to him. Is how I took it. Where it's just like this happened to him because it's literally purely just because how he was treated his entire life.
Yeah,
which makes it that much more tragic.
And he kills his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the pillow. Got her ass.
He did. He really
murked her.
Murked her with a pillow.
Yeah.
I think it was a very well-made movie.
I agree. I think the cinematography is really nice.
It is nice. It's very, very reminiscent of.
Yeah. And I really like the score a lot.
The score's pretty good.
The score's great.
Yeah,
mainly when he's in the bathroom, and then whenever he's on the cop car at the end.
Yes.
Like, oh my god.
And like later in the scene, whenever he's dancing down the stairs, not the first path.
Oh, the.
That was such a weird song choice.
Hey!
Play some hockey.
Yeah. Honestly, it's the hockey song. And that also guy is a convicted fucking pedophile. So
the guy who made the
the
guy who wrote
weird.
The
song. That's a little weird.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I also there's a lot of criticism towards the way the social movement was developed in the movie. I don't understand that because a lot of people thought it was unbelievable, like just a subway killing spawned this entire like protest.
Yeah,
I was like, that literally happens all the time.
Yes,
I was like,
I mean, this is honestly like look at the like police shootings. One person gets killed in police shootings, and then there's like riots throughout a whole town.
Yeah,
I think it's perfectly accurate.
I think so too, and it's
like
what.
Oh no, I just think it's so hilarious that this entire movie, a large part of it is about how the upper class failed to acknowledge or care about the inner goings of the lower class and their mental issues, and the fact that people are like saying that the stuff that happens in this movie is unrealistic, and the fact that people don't want the movie to be released is literally that exact thing happening.
Yes,
yeah.
It proves the movie's point.
Even more. I feel like a lot of people felt like they were clowns whenever after watching it and being like, "Oh, this movie's dangerous," when all I was saying is like, "Hey, we need to take care of the mentally ill."
Yeah.
It's like, oh god.
God,
like,
it was an evil message.
There's something wrong with classism and the way we take care of our mentally ill people in society.
Yeah, and that is just
a dangerous,
shocking. That is a dangerous message.
Because if we don't make movies or make art or talk about the repercussions of not dealing with people's mental issues, then it's not going to get fixed, and stuff like that's still going to keep happening.
It's just going to go under the radar.
You're trying to put a Band-Aid on it.
And like art has always reflected reality. Like I don't know why nowadays people are like
art has always had social messages.
And nowadays people are like, why is art so political? And it's always been.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I thought the protest was set up pretty well, like from literally the first scene where they're talking about the garbage strike on the radio, all the way up until the end with the anarchist rebellion. And
I didn't think the movie beat you over the head with it.
Not really. It was pretty sprinkled.
I mean, it's like a cautionary tale of what can happen to someone in a society like this.
What it's like to be the other guy.
Yes, and that's a powerful way to tell that message. I think
it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can maybe see that that criticism when it's movies that are just like rah 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 rah.
Yeah.
Like message, but I didn't think this was like that.
It wasn't. I thought it was
you can pick up on it.
It was a compelling story regardless of the message.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, is there anything else we want to add?
I don't have anything.
I loved it.
Yeah. I really liked it.
I really enjoyed it.
Are you good in the ratings?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I would say 8.
9.
I would say 7.
Well, that makes math easy for me.
Yeah.
So the final verdict for Joker is an 8.
Yeah.
8.
8.
It's my 4th favorite of the year.
4th favorite?
Dang, okay.
I think
it's in my top 5.
Yeah,
I'm kind of...
It was my second favorite, and then there's a Lighthouse and Parasite.
So I was like, well... It's my 7th, I think.
So it's in the top 10.
Yes, it is.
Yes, well, God.
Well, actually, no. It may have been bumped down now that I've seen Parasite. So...
Well, I believe that's everything for this month.
I believe we live in a society.
Let's go through next month.
Oh, wait. Should we... have the list read?
The list.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So, we reviewed 8 movies in this wonderful month of October.
Yeah.
And in 8th place, one of the lowest rated movies of the entire year so far with a score of 2 is Gemini Man.
Fuck you.
In 7th place with a score of 4, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Screw you as well.
Actually in 6th place with a score of 6 is El Camino.
You stay there.
In 5th place with a score of 7 is Zombieland 2, Double Tap.
Yeah, funny flick.
In 4th place with just a little bit of an edge of 7.5 is Hustlers.
Yeah, Dance on the Pole.
Damn it, Cameron. Hold on. I need a second.
Comments for every little one. So.
In 3rd place, with a score of 8, is Joker.
Yeah, we live in a society.
In 2nd place, with a score of 8.3, is The Lighthouse.
Yeah, lights.
Also, we never talked about this when we were talking about The Lighthouse, but one of my favorite moments in the movie is when Robert Pattinson falls 10 feet and goes, "No!"
That's so good.
And then, in 1st place, the highest rated movie of the year that all 3 of us have seen, with a score of 8.7, is Parasite.
He's in the bunker.
Parasite.
All right, let's get into next month. November, which we have Terminator Dark Fate.
I'm going hunting.
Which you've already seen.
You've already seen.
But we're waiting.
But we will, yes.
Motherless Brooklyn.
Frankity Franco!
Okay, I would have to say right now, we are not making fun of people with Tourette's.
No.
We are making fun of Edward Norton's performance.
Shit, performance.
The performance, yeah.
To be fair, we haven't seen the movie, but
from the trailer, it looks like I won an Oscar. Give it to me now. I have a disability, so you should give it to me.
The Irishman?
I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm going to watch it. because that's cinema, so I have to watch that.
That's Arctic Dogs.
What?
No,
The animated movie. Then Harriet. I mean, maybe.
I'm excited for it.
It just looks like a very basic.
Yeah.
Historical picture.
Harriet Tubman.
The very first movie I ever made when I was 8 years old was a movie about Harriet Tubman with an all-white cast.
Was it for a project?
No, I just did it in second grade because we learned about Harriet Tubman in school, and so I made a bunch of movies about stuff we learned in school, but there was not a single black kid in my grade at my school.
Did you play Harriet?
No, I did not, unfortunately.
Now you were a kid. It's weird.
It's alright, we'll let it slide.
And so...
Just don't tweet about that.
Well, it's out on
It's
the
out
podcast.
now. We're fucked.
Shoot, my career is over, guys.
Next we got Marriage Story, which I'm so fucking excited
I want to see that.
Dr. Sleep.
Which you've also
I have
already seen,
that
Cameron.
already. Yeah.
Playing with Fire.
Screw you, John Cena.
Last Christmas. Oh yeah, Last Christmas.
I want to see. Yeah, I want to see it.
Right.
I mean, it looks.
I like Emilia Clarke and I like rom-coms. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I think it looks bad.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Understandably, like I get it, but Emilia Clarke is just so freaking charming.
Then we have Midway.
Oh, it's that World War II movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm.
Claws, which looks pretty interesting.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, the Netflix animated movie.
Yeah.
Or Klaus.
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 Yeah, Klaus.
Klaus.
Honey Boy, which looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
We'll see. I'm not for sure on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully Jojo Rabbit.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it comes out next week. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
I really want to see it so
I apologize
bad.
to all the people that we
we
led
led
to
on.
believe Jojo Rabbit would be coming out.
We thought it would be coming out, but indie movies.
Then we got Charlie's Angels.
Fuck. Angel. Don't stop the touching. Somebody blows up.
Ford v Ferrari.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks good.
Called you fat, sir.
The Good Liar.
Chickadee boom. I hate that trailer. Like,
It's just bad.
It's horrible.
The Report.
Maybe.
That's
it's this
the
Adam
Oscar
Driver.
movie, right?
Adam Driver. It's like don't torture.
Yeah.
Expose movie.
Annette Bening's in it too, right?
I think so.
Okay.
It's coming straight to Amazon though, which I'm like,
Waves.
Oh God, yes.
Are you excited?
That is my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I just think it looks. I just think it looks fantastic.
Okay.
And I really like the director.
I haven't seen much. I've just seen the trailer, which it doesn't really say much. So
Yeah, it looks pretty.
it looks pretty. Yeah, it looks very.
I really like it.
Very
Comes
saturated.
I really like it. Comes at night. So
Is that the same
Yeah,
director?
and I love the cast.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I just the trailers just
Oh,
haven't really been much.
And I
He
kind of
also made
connect with it,
Krisha,
'cause it's like
and that's a great
father,
movie.
son type thing, and I'm like, ooh, fuck, cry, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got The Lodge.
Oh, that looks.
We'll see.
Well, according to the
I
trailer,
don't
it's the
know.
next great horror. So yeah,
We'll
I want to
see.
see it. I really like Riley Keough. So.
Yeah, it's weird. Usually, when I see a trailer for a horror movie, it's pretty clear whether it's going to be good or bad. And this one, I
could go
can't
either way.
figure it
It could
out.
go either.
It looks like it could be a slog.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. We'll
Then we
see.
got Frozen 2.
I'm gonna see it.
I'm actually really excited for Frozen 2.
I'm gonna see it. I'm not particularly like excited, but I'm gonna go.
I'm not excited, but we'll see.
I am. I'm in the minority of our generation who I think Frozen 2 is actually like really good.
Or you
And
mean
so
The first Frozen?
no, yeah, sorry, the first
Oh, yeah, I
Frozen.
was like,
No, yeah,
I've already seen it.
no, yeah.
I don't hate Frozen.
It debuted in cans.
No, yeah. Well, because I think most people like Frozen came out and everyone really liked it, but then it became so big, it became overrated, and then everyone was like, "Frozen's so overrated" that it became like Frozen hate, and then now I think Frozen has reached a point where everyone thinks it's so overrated that it has become underrated. So I like.
What kind
Frozen.
of did me in with the fucking 20-minute Olaf short in front of Coco?
Oh, that was awful.
It's like
I'm with you with that one.
I mean, Frozen's good.
it's just fine.
It's not that good, but it's good.
You're wrong.
A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yeah,
We'll see how that goes.
see it.
Yes.
We'll see how
Hello, neighbor.
21 Bridges.
Yeah,
We'll see how it
I'll
goes.
see it. I like Chadwick.
Dark Waters.
Oh, that's that movie with Mark Ruffalo where it's like you are poisoning the water hole.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a trailer.
I might see that. It looks kind of interesting.
Knives Out.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I am so freaking excited.
Apparently,
for
it's
Out.
fantastic. So I can't wait.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I absolutely adore murder mysteries. I have read like so many Agatha Christie books, and I am so excited for the shenanigans of Knives Out.
It looks really entertaining.
I'm so excited.
And then we got Queen and Slim.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
I'm excited. It looks cool.
I mean, my boy Dan Kaluuya's in it, but well, if it ain't the Black Bonnie and Clyde.
And then we got the Two Popes
No.
on Netflix.
No.
Is that like a documentary?
I don't care.
No, it's a drama.
It looks fine.
Yeah. I probably won't see it.
Should sing.
We got a lot of movies.
Please. I'm going hunting.
Alrighty, so Cameron, where can we find you on Instagram?
You can find me on Instagram at CammyRay15.
Josh, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at josh.elliott. That's ELIOT. You can also find me on Letterboxd. I phrased that sentence as though there was going to be more to it, but that is it. You can also find me on Letterboxd.
You can find me on Instagram at Leofgaringford, LeofGarryingford. You can find all of us at the Film Nerds, at the Film Nerds on Instagram and at the Film Nerds on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
And don't forget the...
and, we will see you in November.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see you reviewing
after
November.
Yeah, after you all have had a lot of turkey and stuffing and...
Have a great November.
Yeah.
We can make it.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Yes. And make sure to go hunting.
Go hunting.
For 2 days.
All right.
Love you all.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Farewell.